Hey fam, welcome or welcome back to Ethereal Dust. This is Kshemda Virda and today's topic is what is mythology or an introduction to mythology. So for people who are new here, here's an introduction video to my channel. Please do watch it. Let's get started. So, we all have heard stories in our lifetime about gods or legendary heroes or creatures with extraordinary capabilities to move mountains, create earthquakes, or devour whole of the planets. But we have never seen any real signs of existence of such people, such events, or any such thing. So, eventually, people started calling such stories as mythologies. That's when mythology term came into existence. Mythology is one of the most important part of the human race from the very beginning. Every culture has their own versions of gods or creatures that protect, have created the world or other realms in the cosmos in which they live, and even the end of the world and time itself. So basically, mythology is an experience that people have had in the past but do not have any proof about it. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you went in a forest. How wonderful, right? Okay, now suddenly you see a peacock dancing. So beautiful. But you do not have your mobile phone with you, you do not have a camera, so you cannot capture that moment. Now, you went back to the city and you're explaining your friends that, see, I saw a peacock dancing. It was really wonderful and amazing experience for me. They ask you for a picture. You do not have it. How will you explain them what was your experience? It's up to them. They'll believe you or they won't. So that is mythology. Now, a peacock dancing in the forest is a myth for the people who haven't seen it. But for the one person who has saw it, he has an experience of it but does not have a proof of it. That is mythology. So, history and mythology are two different concepts. History has a proof while a mythology or a myth does not. Let's take the example of Ram Setu. So, Ram Setu was visible on Google Maps recently, and also in Sri Lanka they found floating rocks. So, combining both of these, it's an evidence for the history of Ramayana. Now, there are many mythologies throughout the globe, like Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, Celtic mythology, Slavic mythology, Hindu mythology, Japanese mythology, and Chinese mythology, to name a few. And all of these have their own versions of the beginning of time and predictions on how the world will end someday. But if we pay close attention to these mythologies all over the world, we have very certain similarities, like the absolute darkness or nothingness before the existence of time, and certain types of gods with same powers and similar looks and similar stories, such as Zeus from Greek mythology and Indra from Hindu mythology, or Thor from Norse mythology and Set in Egyptian mythology. So, Zeus, Indra, Thor, and Set, they all have the power to control weather or control over lightning or thunder. We also have some god with striking resemblance, like Hanuman and Sun Wukong, and even some similar creatures such as Quetzalcoatl from Aztec mythology, and World Serpent from Norse, and even Sheshnag in Hindu mythology. So is it possible that these same gods and creatures existed everywhere, but due to language barriers they were translated to different names and forms? Or were they some ancient species of life form prior to the human race? Or were they aliens? These things and these questions are impossible to answer without a solid source. But no matter what, these creatures and gods have deeply impacted the minds of every race in the world for a long time. and have left a mark on the psychological aspect of the human race. As people all over the world have been following these beliefs for many generations, and some might also have experienced the existence of a higher being or entities, these beliefs give people a ray of hope in difficult times, someone to look up to, someone to seek protection from, some entity that helps people on their journey of life, and in some mythologies, even the journey after death. That ray of hope has been proven to increase the capabilities of many people, whether it is physical work or mental strength or even some illness. So, can it be just a psychological power that is hidden inside of us from all these years and just need a belief or focus in some entity to bring it out? Or maybe this is the combination of all of these things, that there was or there is a prior high intelligence, all powerful entities before mankind, and they created us with their blood or genetics, and that's why we preserve these extraordinary capabilities from their genes. But with time, the prior being, they vanished or have been extinct, maybe due to internal war or any disease, and the teachings of how to utilize these powers were also forgotten, and we remained just these empty shell with so much inside of us yet to explore. But at last, I would like to conclude it by suggesting that all this is dependent on the belief of people and their culture. If they believe in any higher power that is providing for them and gives them strength, it's up to them. And even if someone believes that all of this is just some nonsense stories, it is also up to them. It is exactly like theists and atheists, people who believe in God and people who don't believe in God. People can believe whatever they want and whatever relieves their pain or suffering in life, as long as it's not harming others' beliefs. And faith cannot be forced into someone's mind, and even forced out of someone's mind. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see any detailed video about any one mythology, please do comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.